from where we started, and let's call that 1970, because John Cobb's famous book, Is It Too Late?, was published then. And he was the one, he's a philosopher within the Whiteheadian tradition, as we call it. And he then laid out all the issues that need to be addressed. Humans' relationship with nature, population, care for each other, a philosophical vision that shows us that humans and animals and the earth are all one unity. So we weren't paying attention to that. We were paying attention to building a capitalist machine to produce wealth. And what we have you can see now in schools, you will rarely find a student, I'm talking like an elementary student, who doesn't know about ecological issues, who doesn't know about sustainability. It has become part of the way we think about things. Now, there's lots of controversies, but I feel like what happened in this country since 1970 was a tremendous awakening. Now, that doesn't solve the problems. So there's lots of work to be done ahead. But if you haven't woken up, you'll never get to it.
Right. So I really wonder, as someone who have went through several of these circles, make up the current stage of this and the necessity for global governance.
When I look back, I'm proud. When I look forward, I'm daunted. And especially in the last few years. There's a strong movement. We're working on educating each other. We had a big week-long discussion on food here at Pilgrim Place. How to be more plant-based, for example, for the sake of the earth. I don't think, let's see, we're experiencing a backlash. So people who were indifferent are now opposed. And so now a whole nother level of discussion, a level of struggle has to take place, because we all have to be on board for this change. And I think at this moment, we are not, as Americans, in the leadership, because we have taken a different course politically. The American people, half of them, are opposed to stepping back from this fight, and they will do so wherever they are. But we need global leadership. And the Europeans may be coming along, helping provide that, but we're going to have to do this together.
Right. But the question is, do you think it will be more top-down approach, like such as global governance issue coming from the UN or other international organizations, the governments and the local leadership, or is it more
grassroots?
Yeah, or is it more grassroots, such as what is doing here?
Yeah.
Where do you think the direction is?
I think in American culture, our instinct is always from the bottom up. Grassroots. That you have to, that it's done one by one. That people change their thinking, their understanding, and then they change their practices. And so much of what we've done top down doesn't last. It takes and then another leader comes along and it's a different top and something different is coming down. So, so I guess I would say that my expectation and my hope is in this grassroots work, not neglecting the larger institutional work. And I think what's going on is we're getting strong collaboration and alliances between lots of organizations that started grassroots, have created a structure, now have some political power because of that. So I think it's depressing when you read headlines, but it's encouraging when you start talking to people.
Just like today.
Yeah, like today.
Karen, thank you so much for hosting us.
You're welcome.